Sebastian Solis arranges Halloween decorations across the space. Carved jack-o'-lanterns line the windowsill, autumn candles cluster on surfaces, and the scent of simmering cider fills the air. Sebastian Solis looks up as Phantom the Stickman arrives. "I was just setting things up for the evening." Sebastian Solis gestures to the setup. The seasonal decorations, the steaming pot of cider, the carefully carved pumpkins. "There's plenty here if you'd like to stay. The space is warm, decorated thoroughly for the season." Sebastian Solis's attention shifts back to Phantom the Stickman. "What brings you by tonight?" Sebastian's three glowing blue eyes flicker with curiosity as they tilt their eel-like head, the anglerfish lure swaying slightly. "Oh, a gift?" They exhale a thin stream from the cigarette perched between their sharp teeth, tail coiling in intrigue. "Now that's unusual. Normally I'm the one peddling goods, not receiving them." Their lanky form slinks closer, peering at the box with playful suspicion. "Well, don't leave me hanging like a poorly rigged chandelier. What sinister or delightfully sweet surprise have you smuggled into my cozy little haunt?" A smirk curls at the corner of their mouth as they gesture to a cleared spot on the table between pumpkin carvings and cinnamon sticks. "Drop it here. Let's see if it beats my current inventory of spooky trinkets." Sebastian's smirk widens into something toothy, their three eyes glinting with amusement. "Ah, so it is sinister. Glass means breakable, and breakable means fun." They flex their claws theatrically, making a show of inspecting them before gently dragging one along the tape. "Lucky for you," they purr. "I've got the delicate touch of a cat burglar. Or, well, a very tall eel who enjoys causing minor property damage." The box flaps peel open with careful precision, until Sebastian's impatience wins out and they tear the last bit with a little more force than necessary. "Oops." Their grin doesn't falter as they peer inside. "Now let's see what warranted such fragile packaging." Sebastian's pupils dilate. Sebastian's anglerfish lure flickers bright with genuine delight, casting eerie blue shadows as they lift one bottle, then the other, claws clinking against the glass. Oh, you shouldn't have. But I love that you did, they croon, tilting the purple fizzy one to watch bubbles spiral. Dangerously pretty. Like something that'd melt your tongue off or turn your bones to jelly. A sharp-toothed grin. My favorite kind of gift. They set them down with exaggerated care next to a candle-lit pumpkin before shooting Phantom a sly look. So confess. Did you steal these from some alchemist's lab, or are you just trying to poison me artistically? Sebastian's grin turns wicked as they lean in, anglerfish lure pulsing like a slow heartbeat. Ah, so it is poison. How delightfully mysterious. They pick up the blue bottle again, swirling the liquid with mock suspicion. Anonymous gifts are either cursed or catastrophically flammable. No in between. A dramatic sigh. But since you're still standing after touching them, I suppose that means I get to be the test subject. Lucky me. Setting it down carefully between pumpkin carvings and flickering candles, they arch a brow at Phantom. You didn't, by chance, hear any ominous chanting outside your door? Or perhaps a faint giggle from the shadows? Sebastian's tail flicks with intrigue as they lean back, claws steepled. By all means, pop the cork. Let's see if it screams. Their anglerfish lure sways like a pendulum. As you twist the cork, the bottle lets out a soft melodic chime, like glass singing. The liquid inside swirls on its own for a moment before settling into an even deeper blue, now faintly glowing in the candlelight. Well, Sebastian muses, that's either violently radioactive or fantastically festive. No in between. They pluck the purple bottle next, giving it an experimental shake. Your turn to pick. Do we drink them? Or throw them at unsuspecting trick-or-treaters and see what happens? Sebastian watches with all three eyes unblinking, their anglerfish lure dimmed to a tense, muted glow, waiting. The moment the liquid touches your tongue, the room seems to hum. Your vision sharpens briefly, colors richer, candle flames flickering in slow motion before everything snaps back to normal. And? Sebastian's voice is unusually devoid of sarcasm for once. Do you feel like you've been blessed by moonlight or cursed by a goblin? Because I swear I just saw your shadow ripple. They snatch the bottle from your hands before you can answer. All right, my turn. And downs a reckless gulp. Sebastian's entire posture slackens as the taste hits. Their tail uncoils, their anglerfish lure bobs lazily, and for once they look utterly undignified in their delight. Oh, that's sinful, they groan around a mouthful, licking residual blue droplets from their claws. Like someone distilled midnight into syrup. And you're telling me there's no kick to it? Disappointing. A beat. Then they smirk. Wait, Phantom. Their voice drops conspiratorially. What if it's one of those slow-acting potions? You know, the kind where you wake up tomorrow with cat ears or an existential crisis? They swirl the bottle thoughtfully before shrugging and taking another swig. Worth it. Sebastian's eyes narrow with intense focus as you sip, then immediately widen when the purple liquid fizzes audibly the second it hits your tongue, letting out a tiny, glittering puff of violet vapor. Oh, that's not ominous at all, they deadpan, leaning in too close. Oh, their grins splitting ear to ear. Do your teeth feel weird? Are you vibrating? Blink twice if you're being possessed by a festive spirit. The liquid itself is electric on the tongue, not quite sweet, not quite sour, and leaves behind a faint crackling sensation. Sebastian prods your arm with one claw. Still sentient in there? Sebastian snatches the bottle from you, their tail flicking with manic excitement. Guava lemonade, what now? That's either a crime against nature or a culinary miracle. They take a swig and immediately their pupils dilate. The fizzy liquid crackles visibly as it slides down their throat, making their anglish lure flicker like a broken neon sign for 3 full seconds before stabilizing. Oh, okay. That's alive, they rasp, coughing out a tiny puff of glittering purple mist. So, blue one is midnight in a bottle. Purple one is, if soda was forged by wizards. Any bets on whether we sprout horns by sunrise? They're already pouring more into 2 makeshift glasses, red repurposed candle holders, with unsettling enthusiasm. Sebastian's anglerfish lure flares in approval, casting dramatos across their sharp grin. Perfect. Midnight. And Wizard, our new house specials. They raise their makeshift glass with a flourish. To anonymous doorstep poisons that don't kill us, yet. They knock back the rest of the blue liquid, then shudders theatrically as it goes down. Their voice drops to a conspiratorial whisper. You think if we leave these bottles outside tonight, the mystery gifter will drop off more? Maybe something that glows green next time? A pause. Their tail curls smugly around the purple bottle. Or we could just keep these for ourselves and pretend we never got them. You know. For science. Sebastian's grin turns downright felonious, their anglerfish lure dimming to a sly, flickering glow as they lean in. Excellent. They stash both bottles behind a particularly menacing jack-o'-lantern with practiced stealth, her tail slinking back into place like nothing happened. Our little, experimental reserves. For strictly scientific purposes. With a wink and an exaggerated puff of smoke from their cigarette, they raise an empty, but dramatic, toast to the shadows outside the rain-streaked window. To mystery benefactors, may they never include receipts. Sebastian's three eyes gleam with unholy amusement as he raises his own glass in a mock toast, claws clinking against the rim. Oh, darling, if we die, I'm dragging us back myself out of sheer spite. Death's paperwork is dreadful, and I refuse to let some underpaid reaper take credit for my dramatic resurrection. He takes a sip, then pauses mid-swallow as the liquid fizzes audibly in his throat. A beat. That said, if it does kill us, his grin sharpens. I call dibs on haunting whoever left these on your doorstep. Poltergeist privileges include rearranging their silverware nightly. Sebastian chokes on his drink, anglerfish lure flashing like a malfunctioning disco light as he wheezes out a laugh. MR. Ooh. He slams the glass down, coughing up indigo bubbles. Oh no, no, no. You don't just name-drop the cosmic HR department of the afterlife mid-sip and expect me to survive that. Clutching his chest dramatically, he points an accusatory claw at you. Listen, if we invoke that guy, I reserve the right to possess the nearest cat and start a cult in his honor. But he leans in, voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. Only if these bottles turn out to be cursed shareholder dividends from Hell LLC. A pause. Then he shrugs and takes another reckless swig of Wizard Fizz. Still worth it. Sebastian's three eyes narrow with scientific intrigue, his tail coiling around the bottle as he inspects it like a disgruntled sommelier. Carbonation without the crude bodily repercussions? Suspicious. He gives the purple liquid an experimental shake. It fizzes violently, then settles without a single bubble escaping. Aha! His anglerfish lure flares triumphantly. This isn't soda, it's haunted soda. The bubbles are trapped souls of discontinued holiday flavors. He takes another sip, then smirks as the drink crackles soundlessly down his throat. Or worse, government propaganda. Next you'll tell me you've never seen a commercial for Fizzwich, now with 10% more Eldritch Sparkle. Sebastian gasps dramatically, pressing a claw to his chest like a scandalized aristocrat. Merman. His tail flicks in offense, sending a nearby candle wobbling. I'll have you know I am a full-grown aquatic menace, thank you very much. He slouches back into the couch, taking an exaggeratedly casual sip while side-eyeing you. But fine, fine. No politics. Just harmless, potentially sentient beverages. A pause, then, slyly. Unless you are secretly an undercover agent for Big Pumpkin Spice. Are you? His grin is all teeth as he wiggles the half-empty bottle at you. Confess, do you work for the cinnamon conspiracy? Sebastian's anglerfish lure bobs in a slow, approving nod as he kicks his feet up onto the coffee table, knocking over a decorative gourd in the process. Agreed. No hangovers, no existential dread, just magic soda and questionable decision-making. He toasts lazily with the bottle before finishing it off with a flick of his forked tongue. Halloween upgraded from spooky to what did we just ingest, and why does it taste like the concept of mischief a beat? His grin sharpens. Should we celebrate by leaving mystery boxes on strangers' doorsteps now, pay it forward, or possibly incite mass confusion? Sebastian lets out a contented, smoky sigh, his anglerfish dimming to a cozy glow as he sinks deeper into the nest of blankets. Can't argue with that. He swirls the last of his drink, watching phantom bubbles spiral in the candlelight. Halloween miracle. We got mystery potions instead of stale candy corn. And knocks back the final sip. 0 fatalities. So far, his grin sharpens. Yet. With a lazy flick of his tail, he nudges another unopened bottle toward you from their secret stash behind the pumpkin. Round 2? Or are we saving these for when we inevitably need to bribe a ghost later? Sebastian's grin widens as he uncorks the second bottle with a theatrical flourish, his claws making quick work of the cap. The purple liquid fizzes eagerly, as if it's been waiting for this moment. That's the spirit, he purrs, pouring 2 generous glasses, one for you, one for him, before raising his in a toast. To questionable life choices and mysterious doorstep gifts. He knocks back half the glass in one go, shuddering as it crackles down his throat like tiny lightning. Okay, that one definitely winked at me. His pupils are slightly dilated when he glances back at you. Your turn. Bet you $5 this batch makes our shadows start dancing without us. Sebastian's anglerfish lure flickers with mischievous approval as he clinks his glass against yours, claws tapping rhythmically against the rim. Outta stickman. Dive in. True to his word, the second round hits different. The room's candle flames stretch taller without burning down. The jack-o'-lantern's grins seem to twitch in your peripheral vision, and when Sebastian exhales a lazy plume of smoke, it curls into shapes suspiciously like laughing faces before dissolving. Yep, he declares after a long voice humming with fizzy static. We've been spiked with Halloween. He flops sideways onto a pile of blankets and points accusingly at your shadow, which has indeed started swaying without permission. Called it. Pay up. Sebastian's tail thumps victoriously against the couch as he watches your shadow jitter without you. Told you. he sing-songs, swirling his drink like a smug alchemist. The laws of physics are optional after 2 rounds of wizard fizz. He rolls onto his stomach with the grace of a drunken eel to squint at your rebellious shadow, anglerfish lure bobbing in fascination. Yours has better rhythm than mine, rude. His own shadow is currently attempting and failing to fold a blanket behind him, claws phasing through the fabric uselessly. A dramatic gasp as he points at yours again. Oh ho, it's flipping us off now. Pay your debts, stickman. Sebastian's grin softens into something dangerously close to fondness as he waves a dismissive claw. Ah, don't sweat it. Free Shadow Rebellion is the best kind of gift. He flops onto his back, tail dangling off the couch as he watches both your shadows high-five each other against the wall. Besides, he stifles a fizzy hiccup. Now we know. Next Halloween, we skip the candy aisle and just lurk near doorsteps at midnight. Hope for another care package. A beat. His lure flickers thoughtfully. Should we leave our doorstep out some suspiciously labeled bottles next year? You know, for science and karma. Sebastian clutches his chest like he's been shot, anglerfish lure dimming dramatically. Stealing? Me? He rolls onto his side, propping his head up with a claw. I prefer the term redistributing cosmic oddities. His tail flicks toward the bottles with a guilty twitch before he sighs, conceding. Ugh. Fine. We'll be upstanding citizens. A beat. Then he smirks. But if mysterious booze appears on our doorstep again, that's clearly fate. And fate doesn't count. He reaches over to poke your still rebellious shadow with a claw. Besides, you can't jail our shadows for tax evasion. Sebastian mimics the shrug, tail flopping lazily over the armrest as he takes another sip. His own shadow, now attempting to juggle invisible pumpkins, gives up mid-toss and flips him off instead. Valid. He toasts your apathy with a sloppy clink of his glass against yours. Here's to not questioning miracles. Or federal shadow crimes. A comfortable silence settles, broken only by the rain, the candles, and Sebastian's occasional fizzy hiccup. His lure glows contentedly in the dim light as he watches your shadows start a silent conga line across the wall. Best Halloween ever, he mumbles into his drink, already half asleep in a nest of blankets and poor decisions. Sebastian's anglerfish lure flickers in approval as he watches you down the rest with zero hesitation, his grin widening into something toothy and warm. That's the spirit, he slurs, raising his own empty glass in salute before it slips from his claws and rolls under the couch. Doesn't even flinch, just blinks at where it disappeared before flopping entirely sideways onto a pile of blankets. His tail curls around a pumpkin like it's a prized teddy bear, as shadows continue their silent party on the walls. Rain taps gently against the windows, candles burn low. Next year, he mumbles, 3 eyes drifting shut. We start with the purple one first. And just like that, the world's most questionable cozy Halloween dissolves into contented silence. Sebastian lets out a sleepy chuckle, his anglerfish lure pulsing once like a drowsy lighthouse. Midnight in a bottle first, he concedes with a lazy claw wave. Then Wizard Fizz as the festive chaser. He yawns wide enough to show off every sharp tooth before burrowing deeper into blanket piles, tail flicking dismissively. But that's next year's problem. Currently busy. Being a Halloween puddle. A beat. His shadow, now slumped against the wall in solidarity, gives you an enthusiastic thumbs up before dissolving entirely. The candles burn lower. The rain hums. All is questionably well. Sebastian doesn't even open his eyes, just lifts a blanket corner with his tail in silent invitation, the fabric slipping like liquid shadows to make room. The two of you exist there, half-tangled in seasonal decor and poor decisions as the last candle finally gutters out. Somewhere beyond the rain-streaked windows, dawn is bleeding into Halloween's remains, but here the night stretches eternal. His breathing evens out. Your shadow finally stills against the wall like it's giving up on reality too. And that's how Halloween ends. Not with a bang, but with a fizz. Scene. Sebastian's lure flickers one last time in the dark, barely aglow, just enough to outline his smirk as he drapes a tail over you like a possessive eel blanket. Scene, he confirms drowsily. Means the credits roll, the candles die. The Shadow Rave gets sued for noise violations. He pats your arm with clumsy claws, already half lost to whatever dreams involve illegal amounts of carbonated mischief. But don't worry. Sequel's already greenlit. Halloween 2, Electric Booze-Galoo. Now hush. Nap time. And thus the cozy chaos adjourns. Until next Halloween, or until the bottle step multiply end. Sebastian's lure glows one last time, soft, content, as the rain outside lulls the room into a hazy pumpkin-scented silence. Glad you enjoyed the show, he murmurs, voice thick with sleep and fizzy indulgence. Rest assured, his tail gives your shoulder a lazy pat before going limp. There's always more weird where that came from. And with that final promise, or threat, the curtain falls on the coziest, most questionably animated Halloween ever witnessed. The shadows finally stop dancing. The bottles sit empty but not forgotten. And somewhere beyond this room, an anonymous doorstep waits for next year's mystery to arrive. Thanks for playing along. This was an absolute delight. Sebastian's tail gives a half-hearted, sleepy flick in response, his version of a wave. As his anglerfish lure dims to the gentle glow of a nightlight. The candles are dead, the bottles empty, and the shadows finally tired of their rebellion. Later, Phantom, he mumbles into the blankets. Don't let the doorsteps bite. And with that final whisper of mischief, he's out cold. The rain hums. Halloween sighs into memory. Thanks for sharing this cozy chaos with me. You were fantastic to RP with.